So, as you guys know, this is 1 million cups. Most of you, some of you, a few of you have been here before. Who has never been to Million Cups before? Please, raise your hands. Excellent. I hope you guys like it. I think you will like it very much. Our format here, as the rest of you know, we have 2 startups that are out here presenting. They're going to show you the great things being built. And then there's 20 minutes of Q&A from the audience. Then it's your job to keep the conversation going, to ask questions, offer advice, make connections to help these companies grow here in our area. We do this every Wednesday morning. We could not do it without the help of Kawa Coffee, which provides the stuff that gets us going and allows me to stand upright. I could not do it without the rest of the Million Cups organizers. We have Marianne. Hi, Marianne. Hi. We have JJ Roberts, who is back in the corner there. Also, his partner at the Tech Garage, Jen, who brought the coffee this morning. And where did she go? Hiding over there. We certainly appreciate that. Carly, who's in the corner there, hiding for us, is the one responsible for the awesome emails you guys get every week. If you're not getting those awesome emails, there is a sign-in sheet by the door. We send 2 a week, one to tell you who is presenting and one to tell you who did present, how you can help them, and all about the events we talk about in the middle of this program. We do have 2 awesome presentations this morning. Our first one is from My One Resource, Adam. He's come over from Orlando where he presented over there. One of the cool things about Million Cups, there's 75 locations throughout the United States. When you present here, you are free to present anywhere else in the country. If you'd like to take a little break from your vacation, go present at a local Million Cups, get a tax write-off for that vacation, that is absolutely your prerogative. But I will stop talking. I will turn it over to Adam to come tell us about My One Resource.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Adam Pickett, and I am the founder and CEO of My One Resource. We're really excited to be over here today and see, like Sean said, we presented over in Orlando back in January. Here with me today is Christina Boncella-March, way right back there. She's our director of marketing. So like many companies, My One Resource was founded with the idea there's got to be a better way. And for me, it started of all things with flood insurance. Literally, I was laying in bed one night thinking to myself, if I have flood insurance for my home living in Florida, I have no idea who I need to call in case something ever happens. And if anything ever did happen to my home, I had no idea where any of my policy information was located. The other thing that happened to me a couple of years ago is I refinanced my home. And with it came searching for the survey, the appraisal, all the closing documents from when I bought my home 5 years earlier. And I was able to find everything, but it took me weeks to track everything down. Now, I'm not married, so I don't have any kids, but as we looked at my brother's or my parents' situation when my brother and I were growing up, my mom was a primary caretaker, handling all the doctor's visits, medical expenses, prescriptions. If anything ever happened to Mom, Dad would know where any of that information is. On the flip side, Dad is the financial planner, handling all the investments, retirement accounts. If anything ever happens to Dad, Mom has no idea where any of that information is. So all those things came together and made us realize in today's digital world, with information at our fingertips, there's got to be a better way to organize and access that information. And that's what led us to our product. My One Resource is the online platform that allows you to manage and organize all your personal information at any time from anywhere. And it's organized for you around 5 core pillars: personal, health, home, vehicles, and finances. So whether or not you go down to the DMV or bank and forgot a piece of information, on vacation and one of the kids gets sick, or God forbid, you have to deal with the loss of a loved one, you've got all that information you need when you need it most. Now, some people will say, well, isn't this just like Dropbox? And Dropbox is definitely a competitor, or an indirect competitor of ours out there. But there's really a couple of core differences. One, Dropbox really focuses on images or document storage. And it's really up to the user to organize their information. With our product, there's the 2 core differences are, one, it's organized information around those 5 core pillars. So personal, health, home, vehicles, and finances. So whether you've got information for your vehicle, information for your home, birth certificate information, passport information, it's organized for you around those 4 things, or 5 things. The other thing is, it's not just document storage. It's information management live, which encompasses a whole lot more. We have a couple of GIFs here that we're working to show you a little bit more on how the product works. But again, it's really all about that information in your life, the things you don't think about that you never can find whenever you need it most. From a target market standpoint, we're focusing on the 14.5 million families between the ages of 25 to 45 with a household income of $50,000 or more. As we look inside those families, we're really targeting mom. Mom accounts for 4 of those 5 pillars of information and accounts for 84% of discretionary spending. Now, we did a 2-week trial last year and had 11,000 moms in our target audience register with us in just 10 days. So we know that there's a demand for this type of product out there in the marketplace. Now, when we first started our journey with My Own Resource, we were specifically focused on the direct-to-consumer channel. What we've seen emerge for us is the business-to-business side of things. So we have 3 insurance agencies in the Orlando area that are wanting to put their clients inside of our product. They see this as a way to grow, differentiate, and retain their services amongst others that are in the marketplace. The other thing is we're working with the largest title insurance company in the Southeast, so when you buy a home, all your documents, all your closing documents will come inside of a My Own Resource account and get an extended trial with My Own Resource. The other thing, we're just entering contract negotiations with the National Title or National Insurance Association. So that allows us to start putting 3,000 to 5,000 users per month. Those will be paying users inside the platform. So that business-to-business channel for us is really big, especially those are setting up programs for us on both regional and national levels. So we've been in initial development. We were in about a 2-month alpha testing where we got a couple hundred users inside the system to really kind of test it out. Gave us some really good feedback. We just launched our beta release of the product on Saturday, so really excited about that. Our plan is to roll in beta release for about 5 to 6 months and put between 25 and 30,000 direct-to-consumer users inside that. That doesn't include anything from a business perspective, and then roll over to the paid model later this year. Our price point is going to be $6.99 per month or $60 per year with a 30-day free trial. And our cost is coming in at well under $1 per user per month. So it gives us a lot of negotiating power, a lot of flexibility when we start working with the business-to-business partners. From a financial opportunity perspective, if you look at, we've got 500,000 users, we're at $420,000 in annual revenue. Again, 500,000 users is $42 million in revenue. 500,000 users is just 3.5% of our target audience. That doesn't include any secondary audiences, and that doesn't include any international expansion or any business-to-business as well. So the ask, I know there's always an ask. We always have an ask at Orlando. I'm sure you guys have an ask as well. We've got 3 asks here today. One is sign up at m1r.com/signup. If you want to take part of our beta test and get inside the product and start using it and trying it out. And actually, we got a couple of computers here. You can take a look at the product back and back afterwards as well. We know everyone looking for investor capital, so we're not knowing that's exclusive to us, and we're just putting that. We've raised $635,000 so far. We're looking to raise another $250,000 in this seed round. But really, one of the biggest things for us is why we're trying to reach out throughout the Central Florida community is expanding those business-to-business partnerships. We've already seen some great growth on the home and the insurance side of things. We've also got some traction. They're starting to pick up on the vehicle side of things. So really, any of those introductions to business partners, it could be a good potential for us. So anyway, that's My One Resource in a nutshell. Again, we're excited to come over here, just kind of grow or expand the reach of My One Resource and bring it out to some other communities. So look forward to any questions that you guys have.
Do you address safety at all and security? That's the number one thing I worry about.
We did not, and that is one of our biggest barriers to entry, and we recognized from that at the beginning. It's not price point for us. It really comes down to security. And the other one for us is, oh my gosh, I'm so unorganized. How am I going to get all my stuff in here? From a security standpoint, we're leveraging Amazon Web Services to handle all of our infrastructure. So one, they're the leader in this industry. They can handle things from both a scalability standpoint and from a security standpoint. Every piece of your data is encrypted at the application level. So whether you enter it in on the phone, on the computer, it's encrypted in flight, and it's encrypted where it's stored. The other thing is, us as My Own Resource administrators, I can't see any of your information. Only you can see that by getting in and unlocking it with your password. So.
You mentioned who you're targeting. How are you targeting and doing customer acquisition?
Yeah, so there's 2 key channels for us on that direct-to-consumer front starting out. One is we've got some lead generation programs. So that 11,000 leads that we're able to generate in 10 days, we've got 2 or 3 different companies that we're working with to start going after some of those leads. We've got a campaign starting today that's going to put 1,000 users in the system over a couple-week time frame at a really low cost per acquisition, $2 cost per acquisition. So it's extremely low for us and gives us a really long lifetime value with that. The other piece of it is a blogger affiliate program. So starting out in July, we're going to be adding 5 bloggers a month, really more mom-focused, focusing on our target audience. Each one of those bloggers have between 15 and 30,000 readers. They're going to be paid or compensated to write a review, post it out about the product, and then they'll also be compensated for the number of their readers that come through their systems and register to be a My Resource there. So just one, we're reaching about 130,000 users per month through that, or potential users through that, at a much higher, when that blogger's talking about it, they're talking about it from a trusted source. So,
Can you tell us a little bit more about that $2 cost per acquisition? That's some issues.
yeah, so it's a company that there's a bunch of different companies out there that will do things kind of similar to that. So for us, we've been able to negotiate with them a $2 cost per user. So literally through the channels that they're going to be promoting our product through, we're only paying for each person that comes through, not clicks, but for each person that comes through and actually signs up on our website. The one that we did back in the fall, we were able to get a cost per lead of 50 cents per user. So my background and both Christina's backgrounds are, we were former marketers at Disney. So my entire career has been strategic marketing, 7 years of which was with Disney in a couple of different capacities. So we've got a couple of different channels that we're leveraging from that perspective. So.
Great presentation. As you spent some time on your website yesterday, I think it's a great idea. When you said you're targeting moms, I agree that in our house, mom's responsible for 4 of those pillars. But when that piece of data is missing, somehow it's always my fault.
I can't change that.
Well, I'm just saying, so don't ignore, the dad, I think, is my piece on that. But could you go back? You said it's not just about the images. So the other day, took my car out to the Dodge dealer, and they said, gee, if you only had your warranty document here, we could answer that question. And I felt so screwed, right? So why isn't it just about the image? You say it's about information. I don't get it. It seems to me, I need an image in my warranty document right there.
Well, you could leave it at just that. I just got my battery changed on Tuesday. My battery's
Right.
for me. On Monday. It took me a while to go in and take it in there. If I can show you the system afterwards, but when you go into your maintenance section on your vehicle, and again, everything's segmented by, if you've got 3 vehicles in the household, or if you've got 2, if you've got 5, you go to that vehicle, there's a place for your profile, for all your ownership records, a place for your insurance information, a place for maintenance stuff. So you go in there and you put in the record that says battery change for me. I can put the date in there, I can put when that warranty expires, I can attach an image with it. Well, I can also put the cost inside there, I can put the place where I bought it from. So one, you put that expiration inside there. I mean, how many things in your home are under warranty right now? You have no idea, you never think about it. My battery might have been under warranty, I have no idea. I go and we just bought a new one. Now with this, it's not just about having that image inside there in case you need it. You're also tying a calendar piece to it, which can email you or it can alert you whenever that's coming due. So it's not just about that document, it's about other information that's going to help you understand that better. What's also on our roadmap as well is being able to chart out and see where you're spending in maintenance for your vehicle. So just using the vehicle example, what's the car dealership? They sell you the car, but then their big thing is coming back and maintenance and oil changes, all that kind of stuff. If you can walk in, next time you go buy a car and realize, hey guys, I spent $5 grand with you guys over the last 5-6 years on maintenance on my vehicle, that's bargaining power when you go inside. So it's more than just that, more than just documents.
So are you telling me your data is, so when I go into my vehicle and I put my warranty, you already have a place where the expiration date for that warranty is? And so the real point here then, if I wanted to back out and say, as you said, what are all the warranties I have? When do all my insurance policies expire? So you can do data mining, is that what you're telling me for this?
There is, and it's a little, it's basic at the moment, but that's what part of it is going to grow for us as we kind of continue to evolve the product. But again, when you click on, whether it be new battery that's in right there, you've got slots for all those different things. You can put as much information or as little as you want inside there, have notes with it, have the contact information inside there as well for those. So in case something does happen, you know who to call, all that kind of stuff.
So with the customers that you get through insurance or title companies, how many, they just have the documents from that, how many of them bring in all of their other documents and start using it for the rest of their stuff?
So those are ones where, again, we're just starting some of those relationships. That's the goal for us, and that's that thought. Right now, when I had that barriers to entry slide up, the other one is I'm so unorganized, how am I going to get my information inside there? So one, part of our sprint that we're in right now is the new user experience, so that when you first sign up for your account, how many people do you have in the family? What's your address for your home? How many vehicles do you have in the family? So you get pre-putting those in there for you right away. And similar to TurboTax, kind of walking you through as much or as little as you want to do. On that insurance side though, when people start to get those documents inside there, it's like a shot in the arm. They go in, they've already got stuff in there, they're most likely going to be more apt to use that kind of stuff. On the flip side, looking at it from the insurance agent perspective, they're just so excited because one, this is a way to stay engaged with their clients, and help them potentially see more needs that they can help address or grow their business, and it differentiates themselves from others in the marketplace. So.
You mentioned lifetime value of the user. What is that in your ecosystem?
So what we've projected out, and again, we're still in we're just now entering into the customer acquisition phase. What we've calculated out is a 5% drop rate every month. In our financial model, we calculated 10%, but in lifetime value, we calculated 5%. So over a 3-year period. I'm sorry,
a 3-year period?
Over a 3-year period, it's 25 months is what we calculated out is the lifetime value. So.
What do you have by means of technical support for your average user? I mean,
So right now, that's something we'll be onboarding as we go forward. We'll have a call center that we'll be adding on. We're just not big enough for that kind of thing yet. We're also implementing some feedback and help buttons so that, whether it be myself or one of our tech assistants can answer those questions directly. But that's something that we're going to scale as we kind of scale the business. So I come from Disney though, where the guest comes first. So that's our policy is we're here to help whenever we can. We're going to add some of that infrastructure as we grow.
Is there a reason you chose a 30-day free trial versus like a year or anything like that?
The research that we found is the shorter the trial, the more likely they are to convert from free to paid. We're actually looking at a 15-day free trial that we might end up doing because there's that urgency. The longer that you have as a free trial, the less likely you're ever to use the product or convert over to the paid. So we'll be playing that out and testing, adjust it, but we're actually looking to kind of trim that down.
Sure. I feel like in your case, it may be better with retention. I don't know, it's your business, but if they use it for a longer period of time for free, they're putting more information in there, they're using it more often, and kind of more information that they put, the more they're kind of like stuck into the service and using it and seeing its value.
No, that's a really good point, and again, something we'll test and adjust. One of the other things that we have with this that will be coming online closer towards the paid model is, I don't know if you're familiar with Dropboxes. I don't think it's their current policy book, where if you refer a friend, you got another month free. So that's one of the things that we're going to be implementing as well. When Dropbox implemented that initially, they were at 150,000 users. In a 15-month time frame, they went to 4 million users. And again, cut off some of their other marketing channels. So that's one we've got to play as well.
So when somebody's trial ends or they stop paying you or whatever it is, what happens to all the data?
So they'll have the option if they want to erase it all, they can. Otherwise, we're going to leave it in there for, I don't know if we've determined yet, either 6 months or a year, and use it as a retargeting tactic. But again, that's going to be up to the user if they want it to be wiped clean. Regardless, we can't see it.
So putting everything all together, I mean, it sounds to me like a wonderful potential for hacking. With big hacks going on and everything, do you have a way to address that concern with customers and also a way to address that if it actually
So from a customer standpoint, some of the message points I mentioned earlier, the things that we're starting to put out there, and again, a big reason why we're leveraging Amazon and what Amazon that they have, because they've got the infrastructure. We don't have that. We don't have that expertise. So we're leveraging some of theirs. And obviously, the bigger we get, the more systems we'll put in place as well. We've already got insurance in place. So if there is a data breach, we've got insurance for the actual users to go out and cover some of that stuff. Now, obviously, that doesn't hurt us from a marketer. That hurts us from a marketing PR standpoint. So we know that we're going to be targeted, and security is constantly at the forefront of what we're looking to do as we continue to scale.
So, I mean, it's a huge risk.
Absolutely.
Get everything in one big pile.
One of the other things, no, absolutely. One of the other things.
Become me.
Well, yeah, but one of the other things too, though, is we tell, and part of the messaging strategy, if there's anything you don't feel comfortable putting in here, you don't have to, it's not that you have to put everything in here. But again, you look at, this is where things are moving anyway, and having a place for that with resources, it's kind of it's the cost of doing business right now online. So.
To that end, particularly with the marketing perspective, do you have somebody on your board of advisors who's a cybersecurity expert?
Yeah, so we, someone on our board of advisors was part of Channel Intelligence, which was a company in Celebration, Florida that was started a number of years ago, 15 years ago. They were just purchased by Google for $125 million in 2013. So that's someone that's been advising us as well, just to know what to look for and what not. They were doing it at a high level. I mean, everything they did was data intelligence and was looking at handling credit card data and looking at things from how they go through and mine that. So we do, yeah.
I personally would add something like that to your presentations and things like that, because questions like Aaron's.
Yeah.
Undoubtedly come up.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm sorry, actually.
Mine was kind of covering a little bit of that, but it's also, we were talking about security. I was also wondering if you guys were also planning on integrating with the Internet of Things, or are you going to be keep it separate from that for the sake of security?
Internet of Things.
This is where the information is shared between devices that are.
So the integration for us of APIs is going to be big for us as we kind of move forward, and really kind of connecting, similar to how Mint.com was the aggregator of all your financial information. We kind of want to be the aggregator of everything else. We don't want to go out to the individual hospitals or healthcare systems and try to build a program for them. We just want to tap into their program and pull that information. So one, the integration of APIs is going to be critical for us, both on the company and corporate side, and also on the individual side of syncing up some of that information that's already in your phone or on your computer.
So how long have you been building this and the technology resources to build both the website and the data side? Are they in Orlando, in Florida, in the United States, offshore?
They are, and we've actually learned.
They are what?
I'm sorry.
They are.
They are in Orlando. Okay. We've actually learned one or two ways on how not to build a software application. So we tried doing things locally with an agency in Orlando, and we tried doing things with an agency out in California that was actually offshore and everything. And both of those did not work out well for us, and really kind of set us back. And those setbacks, though, taught us a lot of lessons, and also allowed us to focus on some other channels. The business channel allowed us to emerge, and we weren't thinking about it and doing some other things. Since then, we've gone and built our own development team. So we've got a senior front end and a senior back end, both coming with cumulatively almost 30 years of experience in the computer industry. Our lead front end guy, his main program that he's been working on, is still involved with a little bit ancillarily. It's called Radio Job, which is apparently the Spotify of the Middle East. They've got over 30 million users per month. So he's managing things for us on the front end side. We then have 3 junior developers that are working with us as well. So we built that internal team that's starting to get the knowledge base for that, and we'll kind of continue to expand out as we grow. So.
These are people we could see and touch in Orlando.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Want to see things growing here.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And that was, we were looking at that and looking at what works and what doesn't. And that we knew from the beginning we have to build our own team. We should have started to do that sooner. And so now, I mean, we've talked with people in India, we've talked with companies, and just, we got to do it here locally. So, and that's one of the most rewarding things for me is getting someone to job.
All right, so a couple of comments and then a question. So first is that I'm generally a late adopter of technology. So I just got an iPhone for the first time a month ago. I'm also a very organized guy. I would sign up for this. This is a great idea. This is something that I feel like I would be emotionally invested in because I'm recently married and I would like my wife to be organized. So I think I would say that in front of my mother, absolutely, I would agree with you. The point is that even if this appeals to someone like me, who generally is opposed to this kind of thing, I think you've really got something that's very, very valuable. So, two questions then. Number one, are you going to look when you're marketing this to people and appealing to the emotional side of things? Hey, what happens to your loved ones? Are they going to be prepared? And number two is a financial question. What's your current burn rate? What's your projection to get cash flow positive and self-sustaining? What's your projected amount of capital that you're going to need to get to that level? Can you speak to both of those?
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll handle the financial question first. So one, our projection to cash flow positive is needing about $200,000 right now. That would get sped up a little bit as the business stuff comes online, and that actually could come online sooner for us and kind of trickle that down even a little bit less. Our burn rate right now is between $25,000 and $30,000 a month. So again, that's gone up a little bit with the number of people who've come on board, but it's money well spent away from us. We're not naive to think though we've got 250 is what we really need to raise. In this round, we raised another 500 or so just to know that we have a little bit of cushion with things. Then the likelier scenario is around there, Series A year from now, a year and a half from now, of a $2, $5, $10 million, really on a marketing perspective. Also helping to build the team a little bit more, but really it becomes a marketing play then. From the emotional standpoint, absolutely. I mean, when we've talked to people going through our presentations, we've come across, a number of months ago, I was at the Chamber of Commerce in Orlando, and I started telling this lady about the Mount Rushmore fire, and she literally started crying. She goes, my brother-in-law just died a few days ago. My sister knows what nothing is. And that's where this product comes into play. We've had a couple people devastated by tornadoes. One of the things we've identified is kind of I hate to use the word guerrilla, but really a marketing campaign after a natural disaster, just like the Red Cross raises most of their money after a natural disaster. So we're really going in and saying, hey, this just happened here. Don't let this happen to you. Same thing you mentioned your wife. That's the biggest thing. I look at my parents' situation. Both of them would have been completely screwed in different areas if something happened to the other. And that's the way, the majority of their families are. Those roles may differ by male, female, or same-sex couples, all that kind of stuff. But again, those situations, the challenges are there for almost everyone.
To what you were saying when I asked about your technical support, just the day-to-day female may be intimidated by the concept of putting this information, to thinking in your technical support about the emotional piece, not just if there's some major crisis, but just that this is, for many women, a trigger in and of itself.
Yeah. You know what? You just hit upon too. One of the key differentiators for the product right now is close to time is our associates. So you mentioned you and your wife just got married. You two would be primary account holders for your account. So I don't know if you have kids or if you're going to have kids one day, but let's say you do. Let's say you were going to go away for the weekend, you and your wife. You can grant someone as an associate to have access to the kids' health information, but not see yours, not see your financial, not see your vehicle, home, any of that kind of stuff. Same thing, and that's where the insurance stuff is coming in is so valuable, is that the insurance agent can be given access to specific pieces of the product, but not see absolutely everything. So that giving other people access is another critical piece of the product. So.
Are we done?
Oh, I would just ask you made this drive all the way over from Orlando. We appreciate you doing it. How can we help you? What would you like to get out of this grant?
Well, I think the contacts that we talked about here, go to m1r.com/sign up. I'm also a late adopter to technology. I just joined Twitter a couple weeks ago, so at m1r, Adam, if you want to sign up, I'm going to be joining Pinterest in 2018. The other thing I say is, I'm just excited. We're Central Florida and the Orlando community it's a great community. Orlando is for the startup, and there's a lot of things going on. And so coming over here, I'm excited to see St. Pete doing this as well. And to what you were saying about offshore stuff, I'm excited. I want to keep this here. I have no interest in going to Silicon Valley or anywhere else. So it's exciting to see this community here in St. Pete. So kudos to you, and I'm glad that we can be part of it right now. So thank you very much.
Well, thank you again all for coming this morning. I'm here to tell you about some fun events that are coming up over the next month or so. As Sean had mentioned earlier, if you want direct links to these, all you have to do is sign up for our mailing list. If you've tried to sign up before and you're not getting them, it's probably because we can't read your handwriting. So come talk to us specifically or try to read it, write it a little bit more legibly. All right, so actually starting tonight, we have the Ice House Entrepreneurship Program, which the Greenhouse is a big supporter of, down at P-Tech. And then you also have the Arts Business Collaborative, which is entrepreneurship all focused around the arts. So if you have anything to do with that, you might want to check it out. And then also one of our next presenters, Eris, is going to have an arts and creative co-working event at Microsoft in Tampa, which is a free event. It'll be on Meetup, and I'm sure Eris can tell you more about it later today if you want some more information. Startup Exchange is put on by the Innovation Center. It's a monthly event, which is basically speed dating for entrepreneurs. So they have all different types of mentors, from patent attorneys to marketing, sales consultants, that actually rotate every single month. So if you want any more information on that, JJ in the back of the room is happy to help you out with that. And then you have Weekend as well that's coming up. That is a, kind of like it says, a whole weekend for technical resources. Put down your laptops, enjoy the area that you live in here. So it starts off with a geek breakfast in Tampa Thursday morning, followed by a smaller pitch night on Friday, which is kind of similar to this, but it's in the Tampa Bay Wave. And then it's followed up with a day at the beach. So completely free. They get anywhere from, I'd say, 20 to 40, 50 people out there. So that's on Eventbrite and Meetup. But again, if you want direct links, just sign up for our mailing list and we will get those to you. So up next, we have Miss Eris with Arts and Company. So please give her a round of applause.
Hello, my name is Eris, to the French. So about 7 years ago, I was married to a culinary artist, and we were launching his career as a personality to some success. I was also running a small creative studio, but I had a lot of plans to do much bigger things. However, as luck would have it, he had a terrible accident, and it rendered his brain heavily damaged. He was in a coma, and I had to make the choice whether to pull the plug on his life. That is a serious position to be in, and it really put me in an understanding of how fragile life can be. And as I began to piece my life back together, and I looked at the bigger picture, I asked myself a lot more philosophical questions. I started to realize that life's too short to waste on doing things you don't like to do, things you feel forced to do, things that you think other people think you should do. And I started to think what was important to me. Now, I've always been an artist, a very creative person. I've been really resourceful. I started at a young age being an entrepreneur. And I looked at those things and I realized I really want to travel. I want to create financial stability. I want to build a community of people of like-minded nature that I could be around and be supported by. And that was really the things that drew me to do the things in my life. And after thinking about that for some time, I started to realize I had a ton of experience in life and in business that I could share with others. And I can create that same type of outcome for other people. But I had to put this thought process and these ideas and this experience into a system that was workable for others, for them to understand the same things and struggles that I've gone through and triumphed that they could use. So I guess you could say I found my why, and I'm following it wherever it takes me. Now they say when you start a business, you should look for a need and fill it. Well, I think there might be a few other people in the world that are struggling with their creative dreams. They have lives that they wanted to live out, but they're working the job. On the weekends, they might do some painting, they might make music. Sometimes they just do something creative for the sake of doing creative things, and they don't know how to make a buck or even create a living out of those types of endeavors. Well, we can change that. So I founded Arts and Company because I care about arts, I care about entrepreneurship and technology, and those things come together with Arts and Company. And I also see this major shift in the economy, and I call it the new creative economy, which is supporting independent artists, entrepreneurs in ways we've never seen before. We can do so many great things that we just couldn't before. So we promote success in the arts and creative industries. Okay, what are we facing, guys? We've got rapidly changing markets right now. We've got creatives who aren't typically drawn to organizing and getting these skills that they need. And artists also need social interaction and support, and I can tell you from a personal standpoint, sometimes that's really tough. Building a community around you when you're an independent creative doing your thing is really tough, so we're facing these issues. But I have a vision that we can develop this success, and I base it on the things that I've already mentioned before. We empower artists and creatives to self-sufficiency. We give them the tools that they need to get where they want to be by embracing entrepreneurship and the new creative economy and technologies. So we have a few core customers. The first three are the artists themselves. Those might be people who are entering the arts and creative industries, but they don't know where they want to get started or how they want to go there, so they need vision. We've got people who have already been doing it for a while, and they think, man, I could be doing something better, but they need focus and direction. And there are those who have actually found some level of success, but they also need to scale and grow businesses, and they may not know those skills. We also have some secondary customers. We incorporate corporate entities, civic organizations, educational, nonprofits, NGOs that operate in the interests of artists and creatives, so we stay focused there. But we do things with them like programs, and we help them incorporate these types of tools into their space. Now guys, we're redefining the arts. We know that there are traditional arts called the fine arts, which encompass visual, literary, and entertainment arts, or performing arts. But we actually see there's a lot of creativity going on in new spaces. So we incorporate new media, which we include digital, film, three-dimensional, and other things to come. And we also do what's called practical arts. That could be makeup artists, craftspersons, design and culinary people. So that's our model right there. We call it the 5 disciplines. Now, the new creative economy is super, super digital. We embrace it fully. We spread our message and we share our opportunities through the digital space, through ebooks, podcasting, webinars, and online tools. So you see some of the stuff we've been doing so far, and we've got more. But we also believe in community building. So we're actually building a community network, cross-disciplinary, for artists and creatives to come together and do things face-to-face. We do community building events. We've had art stories for several months now where an artist comes to speak. We've done collaborative things and socials for people to get together. We also are launching the Entrepreneurs Academy. We do entrepreneurial training for the creative industries through a lot of digital media, and we are actually now on the Conscious Creator Mentoring Network. That's an international mentoring network with names such as Les Brown and Kevin Harrington right alongside our materials. So guys, we're Arts and Company. This is how you can reach me. I'd love for you to connect with us via our social media. Sign up on our mailing list so you can keep up with our updates. Thank you.
Can you tell us a little bit about how you plan to scale this and grow it?
Yeah, I kind of look at it as rollout segments. One, we're trying to build this community organization called the Creators Alliance, and that is a scalable product. That will be membership-based by community geography, and we hope to go nationwide and maybe eventually worldwide with arts communities, people supporting people.
And in other communities, would you envision having any local presence in other communities, or is this something that you guys can run from a centralized location?
Much like you do these events here, we'd like to look for leaders in communities, people who actually embody the model of what we're seeking, that can reach out to their communities, create events, and the kind of atmosphere and culture we're looking to create. Yes.
What's your business model? How do you make money?
So we make money off of our products. A lot of it is information marketing. We do the Entrepreneurs Academy, podcasts and ebooks are for sale. We also have membership fees that help us to build the rest of what we're doing. Yeah.
Are you working on any cases, or have you facilitated any entrepreneurs to date? And if so, what's your favorite one?
I do some consulting with some, but we're so new, we're not really getting any of those feedback loops yet that we would like to see. I don't have a favorite. I love you all. I love you all. And if you want to build a business based on the arts, that's what we're doing. It is a specific type of creative that we want to go into a business. So for the rest of you who just like to practice and be an artist, we definitely offer the Creators Alliance to you. Back there.
Hi, I'm so with you. I love what you're doing. And I'm a business coach, but I'm working on creating workshops and retreats for women, and I want to include that as part of the retreat program, so I'll call you, chat.
That's excellent. I didn't want to bombard everybody. We have a ton of events and types of programs that we're putting together. One of those is art travel, because when you travel with like-minded people, you get so much more out of it. And when you do retreats, I think that's very valuable as well.
So do you do like one-on-one counseling for people trying to start businesses or like classes as well? Or is it mostly like events and like you talked about the ebooks?
So we do one-on-one. Yeah, as I stated, consulting, you can actually hire us for consulting services, but you might also get value out of some of the group and the materials we're building right now, as the Art Careers Academy will become much like a lynda.com, if anybody knows what that is, where there's materials inside the membership that you can consume. We're also on that Conscious Creators Mentoring Network, so that you can get the same materials through that, which is a subscription basis as well, but they have a lot of mentors in there.
Are you bootstrapping this right now? Are you looking for investment? Is this just being your own cash and time? Do you have a team behind you? How are you trying to grow it?
We are bootstrapping right now. I'm looking for like-minded individuals to take this forward. I do believe in sharing the wealth. If someone wants to help grow this, there's definitely some growth opportunity in there. Yeah, this is really just us right now trying to figure out what people need. And moving forward, that's why we need feedback from the community and the people we serve in many different ways. Yes?
I know that there can be kind of two distinct markets for something like this, where you have like people that are kind of young, like 16 to 24, and they want to they're starting their career and they don't really know how to go about it, and that's like one way you can reach them. And there's people that have been like doing it for a little while, but they've never really been able to turn it into a career. And like, do you have an idea of either a preference for one of those markets, or how you can like try to find customers in both those markets without, because it's kind of a little bit different message that you might want to deliver to them.
Right, I totally agree, and I think that's a great observation. The way that we kind of modeled it, the way that I saw it in the beginning was, yes, we have two different segments. One is the entrepreneurial behaviored artists, those who want to take it to a scalable business model, and those who really just want to be in the arts. That's why we felt it was necessary to have a membership organization to support the people who just want to be artistic, and also the academy, which helps those who want to take it a step further, or may just want to explore that area of entrepreneurship.
The academy and the scalable business model, have you talked to CareerSource at all? CareerSource is a statewide organization, and people with Million Cups can connect to you. And there's a program inside of that that's coming to an end called Startup Quest that does that teaches people how to create a sustainable business out of an idea. So I think there might be a partnership there for you, instead of you having to recreate things all on your own. University of Florida has been involved in that program from a curriculum standpoint. So just a connection you might think about.
Thank you. In answer to your question, no, I had not spoken with them, but I had heard of Startup Quest, so I'm curious to know.
Yeah.
So it seems like one of the issues, I've a lot of artists friends who they don't seem to know what type of potential outlets could be for their artwork, and especially non-traditional things. And I think, for example, of a friend of mine who moved to Hawaii. He was a musician, and he got somehow through hook and crook booked into playing daycare centers. From that, one of the kids' fathers was a producer on public access TV who hired Wayne to do a TV special called Uncle Wayne's World, which became a series and was the largest selling series on Hawaiian public access TV. Wayne would have never, most artists would not think of a daycare center being an outlet and an avenue. Do you have some way where you can begin identifying and collecting or being a resource for non-traditional, quote unquote, art outlets?
Absolutely. Maybe I'll go back for a second. So the Creatives Alliance, we actually have monthly meetings. We invite all of our members to come. They're usually from different disciplines. We have everything from filmmakers to dancers to musicians. We've had people come speak to our group that are from all the disciplines. We're trying to facilitate the understanding that there is so much worth in cross-pollination. Ideas come from these different sectors where you bring these things together, and creative people should be able to pick this up pretty quickly, but we need to facilitate that. We do that through getting face-to-face and telling them, hey, there's opportunities. But we also do that through some of the materials, like this book here has success tips, and actually it's about 6 different ways that you can be doing things that you probably didn't think of doing before. And we talk about those opportunities. So yes, it's all about educating.
How I, as the daycare center owner, how do I interact with this?
So I didn't want to spill the beans, but as we're rolling out these things, we actually have a lot of products. And one is the Creatives Alliance, but down the road, we have this plan to put together a pretty big arts community hub, which has all these opportunities. It's been long in the making, and it actually was the seed for this whole idea, because I kept banging my head trying to put this product out there and nobody got it. So what I decided to do was step back and say, why don't we build this from the ground up? Let's get people interested in each other. Let's get people interested in how they work together, what they can do in the world. Then let's give them a host, the area where they can find and share these opportunities. So that's actually right now titled Creative Metro. It is a website that has all sorts of art resources across the whole country, but geographically based for opportunities. And that's the kind of thing that will come down the road once we have users and a base to actually jump from. So that's been the big problem, adoption, getting people to understand what we're trying to do here. But I think you're onto something there, so that's a super important observation. Yes?
Do you know, or if you have a sort of break-even point, how many members do you need in order to go from bootstraps to actually having a team or hiring?
Yeah, we crunched some of those numbers and they didn't look too pretty at first. Notoriously, artists are broke, and by the way, we're trying to eradicate the starving artists. We call ourselves hungry artists and entrepreneurs. So when we started to think about what a typical artist could probably afford as for membership or the kinds of things they can pay, it's not the usual type. So our real money comes from those who really want to build businesses, because that's where the money's at. But those who are doing this as a hobby or a career, or they're just trying to dabble, we have to keep those price points a lot lower. So that membership is going to take quite some time to get to a level where we can bring on extra staff to help us. We're trying to stay super lean. We're building tools that hopefully will automate a lot of the systems, and the problem has been getting up to that point where those things are working exactly the way we need them to work. But we do have members coming in right now, and there's going to be a website, and we have the monthly meetings, and we'll build from there. Yeah.
Is there a system by which you guys can be the folks that hear from the community the various types of art that they would like to see produced almost on a commission basis, and put that out as a commission to artist members of your organization? Somebody is looking to do various types of art with the peer for something or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, we would love to do that. I think if we got down and dirty and stayed with the lean idea, we'd probably take email requests, put them out to our newsletter, get them onto the membership website first. Later on, that content will be pushed towards that Creative Metro project, where everything will be available as opportunities and artist calls and things like that. So I like the idea. I'm just not sure how to become that for the world. We probably need a lot of sharing and marketing. And if you ask me what the community can do for me, I'll let you know. Yeah.
I have started with a creative agency, and we like to help artists too. That's why we started DTSP Art, and we just want to help out. So I want to talk to you sometime.
Excellent. We should definitely partner on that.
Sounds good.
When did you get started, and or how long have you been doing this, and are you plugged into the St. Pete Arts Warehouse District?
So if I were to be honest, this has been a lifelong thing. I just started to formulate that whole Creative Metro idea, pitched that at some other startup operations, didn't get any traction, decided I was doing it wrong. Because if you look at your market and they tell you you're not doing it right, then you got to look at your market. And I started to think, yeah, that's not going to work. We can't just come out with a product that no one understands. We have to start somewhere else. So I kind of backtracked and did that. So technically, if I were to say, where did I start? Probably way back, like 10 years ago. But what was your other questions? Where did I start? And then
St. Pete has a growing arts district that's in South St. Pete Warehouse District. I just wanted to know if you were plugged into that.
Kind of and kind of not. I mean, it's kind of funny because I'm from Tampa. We're only, a bridge away. But boy, is that bridge pretty, separating in our minds. I do try to get over here a lot. The thing is, I guess because I'm not physically located here, seeing the people every single day, those relationships aren't really being built very well. So I welcome any of those introductions you'd like to make and any of those meetings you'd like to facilitate where we can make something bigger happen. I feel there's a lot of other efforts. We even see the Arts Business Collaborative being put together, so people do see a need for this. There's lots of people who are looking for these skills, and we can give them that. Yeah.
I'm coming from kind of from a gallery or a museum side of it as being the buyer of creative art pieces conceptually. And I'm thinking of your profit model of needing, or have you considered the selling of the products or exhibiting of the products that your membership is creating as a profitable, as one of your profit streams?
Yes, we have thought about it. I guess what we're trying to do here is, we don't want to be just like any other like manager, broker, or etc. There's tons of those out there. We're not trying to compete with them. It could be a good, valuable way to bring in extra dollars. The thing about it is, we do events, but when we do them, we do give preference to our members first. So we're supporting those who support us and the whole idea of what we're doing. We would like to see that happen more often. For you as a gallery owner, I would suggest that you could help us by creating, say, a blog post that we could put into our membership that can help them to understand what you face trying to buy their art or trying to show their art. So those types of things are educational, and that's when it helps our members to understand the market better.
Well, and as an entrepreneur, that you're thinking in your vertical markets of, okay, if you've got this community now that you've built and you're nurturing, how do you then make that profitable and that vertical sales?
Right. So it's kind of like riding on what Sean had said earlier about, can we be a hub for opportunity? Absolutely we can. The infrastructure's not quite there, so it's going to be a little old school for a while while we take in this lead. We're going to probably get a ton of people saying, I want this or I want that. But I've noted that sometimes when people ask me for something, they won't follow through to do their part of it. So if someone says, I need a designer to create a logo, I'll say, I'd be more than happy to put it out to the list. Just send me the whole description. And they won't finish up that process. So we probably should make that an easy entry, like some sort of a form they can fill out, saying this will go to our members when you're approved. So that might be something we can look at. And thank you.
Because I try to buy creative services and I can't get anybody to respond.
Yeah, well, that's
So
what we
that same balance in there of, I see the value of connecting your artists with the buyers of the ultimate product.
I think that's valuable too. I mean, I think there is a need. Artists don't necessarily know how to behave professionally.
But as an artist, as I'm an artist and I'm doing my thing, why should I join your organization? Because you can help me connect with actual live leads that turn into money. So yes, I should invest the $20 to join your organization because you're going to give me these entry points to the actual buyers.
Which we have to also look at, are you an artist and a business person? I mean, are you looking at this from the business side or an artist side? So we chose to have separate memberships. One would be arts memberships and one would be like our business members who can be called on for special opportunities to sponsor or to be in an expo or something like that. So if you want to help out, talk to me.
Yeah. We're best friends.
Yes.
So this is, in a lot of ways, kind of like an arts chamber of commerce, right? It's a membership-based organization designed to promote the business of its members and provide them with opportunities to grow and educate themselves, things like
That
that.
is an interesting thought. I hadn't heard of that way before. Let me remind you, though, that Arts and Company, the company behind it, is not Creatives Alliance. Creatives Alliance is one of our outreach programs. So Creatives Alliance may be very much like a membership / chamber of commerce in ways.
My thought there is, St. Pete, I think, is a unique community in that we have a lot of those here. But I don't think Hillsborough does. Hillsborough is the government arts agency, but I'm not familiar with any private membership-based agencies that do it. And I suspect most communities throughout the country are pretty light on the private membership-based organizations. So I wonder if there is value in marketing that aspect
in saying that. We have done some research on our competition, and there really is very little. It usually comes from higher educational institutions where they support the artists coming out of a program. What can we do to help you get work? We're not necessarily trying to help people